one, number three. Grass River, 3 R's. Grass River Railroad, why they didn't do G?
this. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble?
How about now? You should be able to hear me now. Yep, you can hear me now. Alrighty. I need to turn it up a little bit. Let me get over here and do that. Alright, how about, well, shoot, I gotta go all the way up on this thing? What has happened here? Alright, let me get over here on the settings and, turn this thing up a little bit. Let's see how that works now. Alright, William. Sounds good. Okay. Alrighty, we'll do that. Leave it there because I'm showing my audio still be kind of low for some reason or another. But y'all say it's loud enough. We'll go with that. And alright, what happened was Andy is still at work. This is they decide some of his companies he works with are having audits, and he has to be there to answer questions. And then when they get done for that day, he's got to get ready for the next day. So he's, I guess, out of state again, and can't make the show. So I figured, well, we done canceled twice. Once. I'm not going to cancel the second time. So we'll play it by ear and see what happens. We got a bunch of usual suspects over here in the chat. We'll run back through them real quick. Say howdy, howdy. Let's get back up here. Yeah, we got William Sullivan, John Daly, Brian W., Brad. How you doing? Let's see here. Thoughts I know. Yeah, Justin. There you is. All right. That's good. Dwight. Yeah. Yeah, you're in under your assumed name. Okie dokie. Maybe some of the guys from the regular crew for the Bill show will pop in here. I don't know if they will or not, but hopefully they will. Or otherwise, I'm going to be out on this proverbial limb all by myself. All right, let you guys know we've got Joe's Train Show tomorrow night. That'll be at 9 o'clock. Then we're back to Thursday on the Johnny Mall Train Talk Show. That's at 10 o'clock. And then the week after is, hey, guess what? We got another Who's Big Bill talking to. And last I heard, he's talking to none other than Sparky 107 107. That ought to be interesting. Dave, he just popped in, BNSF. How y'all doing? Alrighty. Well, this is the Bill show, so let me set this up. I had to do this really quick tonight. Pow, pow. Okay. Won't go that way. Let me get back to the beginning here. There it is. I thought maybe we might talk about doing possibly a scratch build. Something really simple. Nothing too terribly hard, hopefully. This is a house that's down the highway from me a few uh, miles. I think it used to be like a little country store or something like that. I'm not sure, but alright, you guys take a look at it and let's talk about how we could scratch build this thing. You know, it's got the usual lap siding on it, but it's got the rock work, rock stacked up for the foundation, and 3 rather large stones put out there for the front steps. I kind of looked at this thing and thought, well, it could be done 3 different ways. You could either do a few little modifications to it, make it look more like a rural house out in the woods. Could be a country store, or just some kind of derelict building that been left there for time to take over. Let's do wood, Adrian. I think so too. William said wood would be best. So we'll go with wood. But obviously this one's been sitting there for quite a while. Uh, Somebody's got, I don't know if it's the property owner or not, but out here on the front to the left there's a pop-up tent. During the summertime they sell produce right there. Roadside produce stand. But I was kind of looking at like this, the rock work pillars to hold the building up. Probably build a, out of styrene, build you a square box, say line it with saran wrap. Try and keep it as flat and smooth as possible. Then pour your choice of material into it, like either plaster Paris, or hydrocal, or smooth it. Yeah, Dave, wait till you see the rest of the roof. I got pictures of that too. Well, William, if you're asking me, I do HO, but you know, actually you could do this pretty much in any scale that you wanted to. But once you got the form filled and poured and cured, the saran wrap is just to act like a mold release so you can get it out. I had to make the box a little bit bigger, so you know, compensate for the saran wrap. Then you can always take a hobby knife. Number 11 is usually the favorite choice of a lot of people. Backside, carve the stonework into it. You don't have to be a real artist to make stones. And then paint it up like you want. Use a good Indian ink alcohol mix and drop it right here in the crevices to give it that shadow black and make the stonework pop out. Not really, William. I don't think it'd be all that terribly hard. Might do something a little bit different for the stonework that's supporting the building, but I mean, steps wouldn't be that bad because all those are is 3 large stones right there stacked on top of each other. I got a little better picture from the side. Show you more about what they look like a little later on. But, you know, I think that should work out pretty good. And I'm sitting here moving my cursor around on the wrong screen because you can't see it on the other one. There's another one where I moved over a little bit. Of course, the fire extinguisher wouldn't be in the actual model that you build. But as you can see, the house kind of runs back. I'm pretty sure it's got rock supports on the back sides. Just over the years, the dirt has built up, and it's kind of covering the back of the building. But as we move around here, you can see, well, wrong way. Getting back over here on the left side of the building, we got a couple of windows there and the doorway in the very back of the building. Reason why it says country store, looks like this might have been used to put a sign up on, to advertise something. Usual double hung windows, probably a standard 30-inch door for the back. The roofing was sheet metal, that's 3V, what we call 3V here. Chimneys up here at the top, there's one here towards the back, no one up at the front on the other side. Both of those are caved in, they got sheet metal over the top of them, so, but you can always put a regular chimney back up there. Yeah, Adrian's saying it looks like a trading store with a room in the back. Yeah, that's another good possibility too. Could be that whoever owned the store lived in the back of it. People used to do that too. Yeah, kind of like an apartment back there. Kitchen, bedroom, that sort of thing. That's kind of showing the base of the building. The bottom here this is wood, believe it or not. Just got here in the south, you got your algae growing on it, that's the green. Because it's not that far off the dirt, you got dirt splashed up on here. And of course, the first run of boards is going to be the first ones to really rot the worst. And start rotting to start with. Hey Lloyd, if you're watching, come on, pop on in here on the live. In the live show. Yeah, William said that you could do hydrocal with tinfoil and rocks and steps for rocks and steps. Yes, you can. Yeah, Justice saying for the rock work in N scale, stones from Woodland Scenic would work. All right, there you go. Save you a little time there. And you can see, of course, here the rot's a lot worse because you're a whole lot closer on the ground here now. So they've actually stuffed some rocks up under the door frame here to help hold the door up, hold the stoop up on the door. And the algae's really taken off on this rock step right here. You can see how green it is. Alright, with that. And of course the rot on the bottom few boards here are a lot worse because you are closer to the ground. A lot more moisture and humidity there. Probably both, William. Termites and ants. Probably more termites than anything. But yeah, they certainly have had their way with this building. And I'm sure they're still eating on it too. Now we're getting to the roof part where you can see a lot more of the rust. Since you got trees so close by, you're going to see a lot more of the green in here the algae forming on the tin. And of course your rust. Got a little bit of dark red there, and then some orange coming in, reddish orange, running down where the water mostly runs, along the V's. Wind damage here, so that flipped that sheet over, the front sheet. Yeah, we use a lot of galvanized tin down here on roofs. Adrian, yeah. Dave said algae holding that roof together. It's getting there. It is getting there. A little closer look at the steps, you can see they've kind of sinking over on this side, so they just put some more flat stones on top to kind of level it up, make it a little less stable when you're coming off the last step or coming down on the first step. Gotta make you feel like you're on the fun house at the carnival. I was just building off to the side there. They covered it with tar paper. I think that was a pump house or something. I'm not exactly sure. Now here's the right side of the house. It only had this one window over there, and that was to the back of it. So that's the reason why I kind of lean more towards that being a store than a old country style house or anything. Part of the roofing's been ripped out right here. Looks like some tree limbs that fell at some point, bent some of the tin down. And this is that other chimney in the front that's the brick is falling in, so they just put a tin cap over it, keep rain from coming in. Here's the back side of the building. Only had one window there. And the siding back here, that's got a lot more weathering to it. You can see it starting to pull out. Pretty good sized piece been broke out right there. This has been damaged. Might have at some time had a large tree limb come down and kind of hit the back. And you see some of these boards are starting to want to curl and pull away. But like I said before, towards the back of the building where it's closer to the ground, you're seeing a whole lot more rot there, and algae stain and mold. This one board's completely deteriorated. That was them dang termites again. A little better shot of seeing the ceiling. This wall here hasn't had much weather to. I mean, other than time and the grain and loss of paint or whatever. But there's not a lot of weather damage to the wood. Yeah, John's saying it looks like the lumber was cut on site. Uh, I don't think it was, John. This is two-dimensional, too well cut. I mean, yeah, you got some right here that kind of bowed off. This one's bowed off. I mean, it could have been cut on site. It really could have. I really hadn't looked at it in that sense. That is a very big possibility. Ha ha ha. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Adrian says, I have a building going on my end scale close to a style, but in better shape. And the white Northern Star. Yeah, he's referring to me. I used to do home inspections, so no, I didn't inspect this building. Let's see. Just another shot of the roof, trying to get more shots of how the roof looks, the weathering on it, the rust. The black here looks more like that's just sap off the trees and dirt from the air, really. Right there, and then you got your usual dust, rust in there, running down the lines. As you can see, the trees are rather close to that building. Yes, that is 1x6 lumber. That's the reason why I said it's probably more from a lumber yard. And here's Mr. Ralph. How you doing, Ralph?
I'm doing okay.
Well, that's good. Are you seeing this?
I am.
What do you think about that rust?
Interesting.
That's a building that's about 3-4 miles down the highway from me. I took these pictures back towards the first of the summer.
Okay. So where's Andy? Is there no show tonight?
He had to work. He texted me a few hours before the show and said sorry he couldn't make it. They got him tied up. Audits.
Okay. Well, I was on online with Lionel's Modeler's Life before I came here. We lost one of our guys, Boston Joe Cummings. You may have met him. You were in Kansas City, weren't you?
Yeah.
Big, tall guy.
Oh.
Anyway, 53 years old. Massive heart attack.
Wow.
His wife found him in bed with the phone in his hand, and 911 was pushed.
Huh. So he was trying.
Yep.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Anyway, they're still talking. So if there's no show, I'm gonna go back with them. I'll come back and talk to you later.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
just
mind.
kind of doing a song and dance here. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I can hold up on this, but yeah. All righty.
What, is this you going live here? I
Yeah,
didn't realize it. Okay.
yeah, this is live. I've been on now for 30 minutes. Yeah,
All right.
I've been showing pictures, just talking about possibly scratch building this building. You know, the possibilities on it and all.
There you go. All right.
No way, Eric. I'm not going to do no real song and dance, okay? Forget that. You ain't got enough quarters for it. But Adrian said, yeah, that was scary. Hope the best for his family. So,
Yeah. Well, it was his ex-wife that found him,
uh,
and she she couldn't get a hold of him because he they don't have kids. They have a dog, and they share the dog back and forth.
yeah,
So she couldn't get a hold of him because it was her time to have the dog. So she went into the apartment, and there he was
huh,
in bed. So
yeah. Well, sorry to hear
yeah, this happened. I guess it was on Saturday evening.
it.
Anyway,
Okay.
I will stay in. I'm going to go in the chat. I will stay in the chat, but I'm going back to the other room. So I shall talk to you guys later.
Alrighty.
Please excuse me. It's I
No,
wouldn't I
that's
would
fine.
wouldn't normally do this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Good. This probably won't be a full hour show, so yeah, I just kind of threw this together about a half hour before I went on air. So
All right.
yeah. All right, we'll catch you later.
Yep.
Let's see what was. All right. Ah, come on. Oh, I would have to be on the wrong screen. Why is this not blowing back up again? All right, let me restart the screen share. Get this thing back on the right size. There you go. That's more better. Oh, let's see. Who was it that was asking about the well? I think it was Adrian might have been asking about how they get water, if it's well or not. Yes, in this part of the county, it would definitely be a well. And that could have been that building that's out there on the side of it. All right, let me get a little caught up here with the chat. All right. Alrighty. Alright, we'll get back to this. I don't think I got too many more pictures left of this one, so just another show of the base of the building, more stonework supporting the foundation of it. I would say on this building they probably were using 2x10s or 2x12s up under it to cross members to support the floor. And you probably have more stonework like this right here up under the house, in different places to help support the weight on the floor. But you can kind of notice once you start coming back towards the front, you're getting further off the ground. You're seeing a lot less rot on the woodwork. Still got the green algae forming. And you got the same thing here on the rocks. You can't tell it too much, but these little splotches here are actually a gray type algae. You got Well, my hand to quit hitting the scroll button. Let me get back here another one. But yeah, we kind of have different colors of algae around here. Yeah, kind of a long shot of the right hand side of the building. Uh, looks like down here, this is not a foundation board, I don't think. Yeah, it is. I can see something else right there. I'd have to go back and look again. I would think they would be using 2x10s or 2x12s, and that they might use these 1x boards just to start the siding off. It's probably what they've done there. Get a little better look at the rock pillars. Well, Adrian don't give it too many black eyes. He said I may have to beat up the building more when I get to using it after viewing this one. Adrian said he's surprised the building wasn't sagging more. Uh, Down here, they're pretty good about running pillars up under the houses there to help support the floors and all. So they don't sag quite as quick. Alright, here's your steps here. There's three main large flat rocks that they got from somewheres. I couldn't tell you where. They may have used, looks like a little concrete right here at the base of it. But definitely put more stone up under it as you went up to help support the top steps, and filled it in with concrete just to keep things from falling apart on them. I did get a little tickle to use one little bitty stone right here. Great big stones to build up the stack. And then this little bitty stone right there at the top. All right, I guess that's the end of it right there. All right, let's see. Andy said he's going to try and hop on in a second. Try this from the road. Yeah, I tell you what, Andy. Why don't you just keep driving? It'll be a lot safer for you and everybody else. So, 11.3 models. That rock doesn't seem too sturdy. I know a 2-year-old with a lot of energy that can knock that house off its foundation. Yeah, I'm sure it would. Yeah, and here comes Andretti Andy.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure this won't work too terribly well, but I've got 15 minutes or so as I travel between sites. Remember tonight I had to got to go meet bank staff at each branch and do an inventory, physical inventory inspection. So,
Mm.
but I got a couple minutes. So, you guys were talking about that didn't look too sturdy, but boy, they built that stuff and it lasted 100 years.
Yeah.
So, I grew up there before they remodeled that place. My dad used to say about every crappy barn around. So,
Yeah, John Daly was saying that that rock is the key to the building.
Yeah, that's right. You touch that building, everything, everywhere goes down. Boy, they built the stuff unbelievably stout, though. The stuff nearly petrifies.
Yeah.
It gets so hard. I had a house that was originally built with rough lumber, large Victorian style house that was built in 1912. And you could not hammer a nail into the wall to hold a picture on the wall. You had to pre-drill to put a nail in the wall.
Well, while you're in here for a second, I'm going to just turn mine off for a second. So that'd be a bad boy.
And I know this is not going to be ideal, so I didn't think it would last very long, but I figured I would try. I hated to not do the show tonight. I've been working on some really interesting stuff I've been working on several of those resin cars I was going to work on again tonight. Talk about mounting trucks and couplers, which are always kind of tedious on those. I've got several of the underframes all marked up the way I mark them up to drill them. I just could not get free. I could not put this off, so I tried.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, work has to come first.
Well,
I see Brian W. said, Andy, you look better in the dark. LOL.
No doubt about that.
Especially when that light's coming right across your eyes. Gives you that Indiana Jones look, you know.
Yeah, dark is better for me right now. I'm a little road weary. It's been a hard few weeks. The only time I've got to hop in, even in the regular nights, I got in a little bit on Sunday night at 8 or 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I even done that from the office. So good to be busy, they say.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my son got laid off last Friday, so. He's back to looking again.
I'm not envious of anybody who's actually shopping. There's a lot of jobs, or at least around here, and I assume most places, there's a lot of jobs, but the unemployment's down, so there has to be quite a few jobs. But I don't know that they're always ideal. You end up doing like I'm doing. You end up working awful hard for the same amount of money you should make without working awful hard, I guess.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, you went real dark on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, William Sullivan said he was thinking serial killer about you being in the dark.
Yeah, I can do a little something about that, but I'm going to end up with one of those flashlights from underneath, so it either looks like serial killer or some horror movie. So, this is not an ideal video production space.
No.
I can do a lot going down the road, but producing good video content is sorely lacking. I should have brought one of my lackeys with me and let him produce video or vice versa, let him drive.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, I'm setting up on a short video.
Yeah.
I've shown it before, but we'll run through it again. It's on Scratch building again. Well, it's not Scratch, it's Kit build. So.
But I think there's a company, speaking of that, I think there's a company that makes a kit that's pretty similar to that structure that you were showing, that you could probably start from and do a significant kit bash on.
Yeah. Yeah, William Sullivan said he's been out of work last week because of his back.
God help me if I had to take off any time right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been having to go to chiropractor kind of regular, and I forgot all about my appointment. They called me Monday to go, you coming in? Yeah, I just happen to be about 10 minutes away. I'll be right on over there. So I ran
That's a good
over.
idea. probably should go see a chiropractor. That always does me good, but I always kind of forget about going to the chiropractor.
Yeah, you usually
I've
have
been,
to.
but it's been years now.
Yeah, I've been pretty good about when I get done because I do mine about every 3 to 4 weeks. So as soon as I get home, I mark my calendar
Yeah,
down. But I didn't do that last time. I knew I had one coming
it's
up,
probably
but
been it's probably been 5 years since I've been. I went pretty regular for about a year or two, but I was having some pretty rough pain, and then I don't know. I kind of straightened up, and I haven't been back. I could probably use it.
yeah, let's see. William said, Johnny, that building gives me some ideas for my layout of Amherst, Illinois. Okay. Well, that's good. Hopefully, gave somebody some ideas anyway.
Well, that looks like so many structures from Appalachian that I'm so familiar with.
Yeah.
That's
Well, that's just about
wow.
4 miles down the highway from the house. So,
Well, there's not that much difference, and you can go about anywhere down in South Georgia, or about anywhere down in Georgia, Alabama, um, anywhere through Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Tennessee, etc. And
yeah.
most of the architecture was the same. You had some Italian brick masons turn of the century that did some brickwork about everywhere. You know, fairly common architecture about everywhere. You get up into New England, things change some, but for Pennsylvania South, it's all pretty similar.
Yeah, William said true. He's seen some in North Carolina too. Yeah, pretty much anywhere it's in the southeast. Because right here where I'm at, I'm right at
Yep,
the.
up,
I'm in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So,
absolutely. Yeah, the
this is
bottom of the Blue Ridge Parkway, such as and the Appalachian Trail.
yeah, the Appalachian Trail starts here in Georgia, right here in
Yep.
Marietta, and goes all the way on up through New York, past New York. I don't know how far it
Yeah,
goes. It's a long ways. I know it goes all the way
I forget.
up through New York.
Yeah, yeah. I forget how far where it ends at up there, but it's somewhere up there, the edge of Vermont or something. I mean, it's pretty doggone long.
Dwight said he's seen these type of buildings in Minnesota too.
That wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah. I mean, given the type of the period construction for the most part, early 20th century construction was pretty consistent countrywide.
Yeah.
You'd about have to go. You'd have to go back into the mid 1800s before things start to really shift.
All right. Dwight said the mountains go to near Bar Harbor, Maine, and Michael Conley said that
Wow,
that no into the White Mountains of New Hampshire.
that's what I thought. I thought it was there somewhere about the Vermont border, about New Hampshire.
But he
That
said it
makes
goes
sense.
on up into Maine. So
Well, it wouldn't surprise me either. There was once a time when I was young and frisky and used to hike a lot, and there was once a time when, and I've hiked at least 200 miles of the Appalachian Trail in various segments at various times. But there was a time when I really thought I could and really wanted to hike it.
oh, I'm sure there's been a handful of people that have hiked it from one end to the other just to say that they
Oh
did.
yeah, yeah, quite a few. I had a friend who did the lower 800 miles. He did half of it, however long it is. I think it was around 800 miles, and he did from Georgia to Pennsylvania or northern Pennsylvania, something like that. He did the bottom half of it,
Hmm.
and it took him a month, I think, something like a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could a month off, and I wouldn't have a life to come back to if I took a month away from work. So
All right, I'm going to read this the way he wrote it. This is Dwight Northern Star. Just got back from Andy Crawford Notch in the White Mountains.
yeah, Crawford Notch.
Oh,
That's one of the most scenic. There's a rail line, of course, that goes through there. Fairly famous for autumn or fall photography. It is one of the most beautiful places. Period. One of the most beautiful places I've seen, and one of the places where that is a great exemplification of, or a great example, maybe a great example of a type of modeling that's well suited to end scale. Like I've said before, I think scale is about what you're trying to do, and I think sub modeling is really done well in end scale. You can really capture the largeness of that of Crawford Notch if you did it in end scale. It's been done in end scale. I've seen it in end scale. It really looked good.
Michael Conley said, right to White, the old MEC Mountain Division intersects the trail around the notch.
Yep, the main central, right? I think whatever main central.
And then he's saying Conway Scenic Railroad runs through it. Alrighty, we don't have too much time left, so what I am going to do is run a video I did a while back to on a Imagine That laser art models, scale models, dock build I did.
Well, I'm gonna hop off the end, Doctor. I'll just watch and chat because I've just got a couple minutes before I gotta walk in the bank. So I'm sorry I missed it with you guys. I'll catch up with everybody later.
All
We'll
right.
get the show back here soon. Have a
All
good
right.
evening, everybody.
All right. Bye. Yeah, Dwight of North Star said the Conway Railroad has a flat floor roundhouse. Yeah, he's trying to get me tongue tied tonight. All right, this is where you see I'm starting out working on the Imagine That laser art. This dock right here is one that I had scratch built using balsa wood. Yeah, let me get back over here and see if I can resize this again. Since Andy popped out, it messes up the screen share. Get it back up a little bigger. You guys can see it a little better. Like I was saying, this is the dock that I just scratch built right there. Just fooling around one night or a couple of nights and using balsa wood. There's a ramp that I put on this end going down. But as you can see, I used the Gorilla white glue to build this. And by the way, you can't see it all that well. I think I might have this upside down. That's the floor to the dock. And they did etch it and weather it some with a laser. Well, I sure can work fast, can't I? Now I'm putting all the supports on it. I won't bore you with all of that. You can see I'm putting the cross members, getting them kind of placed in there. See what they're going to look like. Showing off my glue. Sorry about the scrubbing of the video, but Those are some clamps. I think I bought those from Micro Mart Tools. They're not a super strong clamp, but for this part right here, they work pretty good. Yeah, yeah, Dave, I can move pretty good sometimes, can't I? Adrian, that one that I did scratch build, I was using scale lumber to build that with. That was balsa wood scale lumber, I think it is. Bought at the hobby shop, so it was actually scaled to dimension. Alright, got all that glued up. Got the second one fixing to go in. I'm putting the cross members in now. I figured it'd probably be easier to do that now than. Oh, that ball there, that's that Fowler expert glue. It's the white glue. It dries relatively quick, but you get a little bit of working time with it. And I really like that glue. The only problem is, even though I ran the wire through the tip after I got through, it's got a real fine needle tip on it, which I really liked. It's still dried up, and now I can't get the glue out. I'm going to have to bust the top open to get that glue out. But I found some other glue bottles I could put that in. They have fine metal tips on them. And that was the glue that dries white too, or clear. So it really wasn't noticeable on the squeeze out and all. Good old 1, 2, 3 blocks. Make sure it's vertical. Can't do without them. Although if you don't have the 1, 2, 3 blocks, you got if you got Lego blocks, you can put those together. I've checked them with certified machinist squares. They are dead on to make a square. And what I liked about that, 'cause I do have some, 'cause I use them when I'm building, and I can snap them together, build them up as tall as I want, and you know, for clamping and all. Hey, Lord, how you doing? You're muted.
I just realized. Doing fine, you?
Yeah, not too bad. Just doing a little song and dance here to replace Andy's show.
There's no show today?
Yeah, there's a show. We're live right now. It's just Andy couldn't make it. He's at work. So instead of canceling again, I figured I'd just see if I can throw something together and, you know, give these guys something to look at.
And what are we looking at?
Yeah, this is where I built the laser art loading dock video I put out a while back. Let me see what I got here.
I thought the show was at 10.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, Tuesday and Wednesday shows are always 9 o'clock. Thursday's the only 10 o'clock show.
Oh, then I'm sorry I'm late.
Dave, yeah, he said those Fowler glue tips always get clogged. I always use the wire to open it back up. I use the wire when I put the cap on. Going to be finished with, make sure it's clear, but either I forgot or somehow another glue got in there and yeah, it clogged it up and I can't get it open back up. No, Dwight, those are not from the Lego blocks are not from my early days. I had to go buy those about 2 years ago. And they are real expensive now. But anyway, this is part of the video where I started building the steps, which drove me absolutely nuts, trying to hold those stringers straight. Only after I built it did I have the idea of using tacky putty, and that's what I should have put down, and then put the stringers inside that to hold them straight while I put the steps on. But I did mute the audio when I was building that so you wouldn't hear me doing all that cussing. And there's the top of the dock. I did add a little bit of the hunter line stain on here too, because this was actually a little bit too white and all, but they actually had all the nail holes etched in here. These darker parts is what they had etched with a laser, and it looked good like it was. I just wanted to give it a more of a used look by adding a little more stain to it. And William, that tacky putty, you can buy that at Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You'll have to look around or ask one of the workers. Hopefully they'll know what you're talking about, because sometimes I find people who go, huh? So usually if you go wherever they have the biggest glue selection, you'll find the tacky putty. It's got different names. Most of it is, you'll recognize it's in a blister pack, and they're kind of rectangular shape, kind of look like real thick gum. Blue tack is one of the major ones, but they have others now on the market. Do the same thing as blue tack, but blue tack I believe is just a little bit more expensive nowadays. Oh, okay. Yeah, Dave BNSF said phosphorus bronze wire is usually strong enough to open up those tips. Sometimes had to drive it through with pliers. Alrighty, I'll have to see where I can find some phosphorus bronze wire. I have no idea. Alrighty, now we got the top on the dock there. Now I'm going to attach the steps. Putting those on. And that was the end of that. I'm showing off my little scratch built dock that I did. And I was talking there, like I've always said, be sure and use your frets, as they call them, or whatever they want to call these that all the parts are in. The scrap areas to test your color, stains, and paints on. Because this was MDF here for the supports. And you can put a brown on there and it doesn't come out the same brown, so be sure and check your colors, because even this top up here was a different wood, a very thin type modeling wood. Exactly what it was, I have no idea, but that's what I'm doing there. Was just talking about checking your color, testing colors. End the video. So let's get back. Oh, how about if I go back to the right monitor? I could turn the screen share off. Working on your building, I see. You're muted, Lloyd, if you're trying to talk.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's a building that I got about 3 months ago, and now I'm ready to build it. It's 5 feet long.
Woo.
It's from what is it? N-Scale Architect. Let's see if I can bring it over here.
Oh, okay.
So it's a what do you call it? Backdrop building.
Yeah.
So I started that. Yeah, well, I was gonna say I started that last night. No, it's not true. I had to paint some like 250 windows, 250 strips of the gray, which is concrete,
Yeah.
and then I had 4 sheets of bricks, which I painted, weathered, and put the white stuff between the bricks.
Yeah, the mortar.
More. So.
Yeah.
So it's the assembly, which is going to be pretty long.
Yeah. You painting that with spray paint or brush?
Yeah, the gray is spray paint. So is the brick, spray paint. The windows were all spray paint also.
Yeah.
Yeah, spray paint.
Yeah, I was fixing to say that many windows and all. I think I'd rather spray paint. It'd go a lot easier and quicker.
Yeah, I left them on the screw, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of windows.
Is that wood?
No, it's like a cardboard.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's what is it, 1/16 or yeah, it's 1/16 thick.
Yeah. Huh.
Yep, 1/16 thick.
So it didn't do a whole lot of warping on you?
No, well, the wall I don't paint. It's like for example, these pieces here
Yeah.
were all in one sheet, and I spray painted. And no, there's no warping. And there's a sticker, like a peel, where you just stick it on the main.
Yeah.
On
Peel. Yeah. They call that peel and stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people like it, some don't trust it, so they still put glue down.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how much humidity you have.
Yeah. Adrian's asking, is that going to be a background building?
Yeah, it's too well. That's a thickness. Yeah, so that's the thickness of the wall. The depth, if you want.
Yeah. That's going to be about what, inch and a half, 2 inches?
Yeah, 2 inches.
2 inches, okay.
Yeah, 2 inches by 5 feet.
Yeah, where's that going?
That's gonna go against the wall. No, where my staging is, not staging, but my yard.
Oh, okay. I know you're putting the brewery up on top of the helix.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another building.
yeah, that's a pretty big complex there too.
I like it when it's big.
Uh, well, I just got one guy said he can't hear you, so let me get up here, close
Can you
this.
hear me?
I can hear you, but let me look at my thing and see what's going on. Go ahead, say something.
Yeah, I like big buildings. My brewery is going to be about close to, what is it, 8 feet by 6 feet?
Yeah, okay, I'm seeing the problem here now.
Is it me?
No, it's not you. It's something happened to the settings on my streaming software. Try it now.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, they got it. Okay. So nobody could hardly hear Andy when he was in here. uh, yeah. All right, so just kind of catch you up there, Kristen. Yes, this is going to be a background building that Lloyd's working on. It's 5 feet long and about 2 feet in, 2 inches in width. It's going to be up against the wall over in his yard. Industrial type building, right?
Yeah.
Or commercial.
And to answer Adrian, there's only, most of my windows are going to be darkened, like an industrial park building where you've got like greenish, bluish, blackish squares in the windows. And some windows will be lit.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now I'm in the planning stage of the building because there's 4 walls like this. Yeah, there's 4 walls that I got to do, and I just got to plan what my building's going to look like. For example, here it could be windows or doors, garage doors. So I just have to figure out which one is going to be which.
Yeah. Okay. I got Twitch up. Unfortunately, I was screen sharing. I have to use that monitor for that. Farm Mechanic 71. I'm not. I was not. Trying to ignore you. I'm sorry. I just couldn't see your chat. He was saying during the first part of the show, looks like the way my home was on rock piers till I had the home lifted up and concrete foundation put under it by the pros. And he's saying many old homes here in central Texas are on rock piers. Yep. That's where you see a lot of buildings out there in the country. Oh, Adrian's saying, Lord, remember to leave some of the window panes out also.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, to have some boarded windows.
Now you just have to have a couple of them where the windows are missing because the workers were mad they didn't get a raise that week, so they broke a window or two out.
I know I was thinking of having windows like pivot, like to open them up, like to pivot.
Yeah.
But I got to figure out how to do that. I'm probably gonna have to scratch build a few windows.
Yeah, you may have to do that.
Just a bunch of little things like that I got to think before going further.
Yeah. Well, we've already been able to eat up an hour and 16 minutes. I think it did pretty good tonight.
And I showed up late.
not to have a per se planned show. Got Andy a text me and says sorry, but he was stuck at work and no way to get out of it. So he made an appearance for about 10 minutes as he's driving from one location to another to work on an audit. All right, Lloyd, if you don't mind, one more time, what was the name of that kit? Ken Amos came in a little late and was asking.
Okay, it's called The N Scale Architect. If you do a search for that, hold on. It's called thenarch.com.
The letter N?
The letter N, yeah.
Okay.
It's like the N Scale Architect. They've got a few buildings. They're not necessarily cheap.
Yeah. And this one is actually HO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got the same building, but in N scale.
Now you gonna go back and put a little dab of glue on the back side, say in the corners to help hold that, or
Yep.
it seemed like I heard one of them, you know, being a snap fit, just kind of had a little snap to it.
It is pretty much a snap fit, but like I said, I'm gonna go in the back and just put it like
Yeah.
glue in the back. Yeah.
I just put a little dot right in all four corners.
Yeah. I just have to make sure that it's going to be pretty much flat because then I've got to put the glass.
Yeah. Actually, you're still gonna put glass on the back. Then you don't even have to put that glue. Just wait till you put the glass in.
Yeah, for now I haven't done any glue on all the windows, and they're pretty much like I have to force them out.
Yeah. Well, it's a laser cut kit anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are usually really good about everything fitting pretty snug. So,
The only thing missing in that kit would be doors, because I would have liked to put like a ladder that goes up,
oh, fire escape.
a fire escape. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's no doors, and because everything is already pre-cut, there's no place for a door.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping all all the leftovers just to see maybe I'll be able to cut something out, put a few doors in.
Yeah. You always keep all the leftovers.
Yeah, I usually do.
They'd always be used somewhere else. Sounds like you're throwing everything right on top of your microphone.
Yeah. It's a fun kit. Um, I've ordered. I don't know if you've seen there are two fine scale kits from Foss. From
Foss scales, yeah.
I just ordered the last one that came out with. They came out with. It's way too nice, and I've got the right place to put it in. So
Oh, okay. Well, here's you an idea, Lloyd. This is Adrian. He said, I have seen windows with the door in the corner. That is what I did with one of my large windows.
Hmm. Yeah, that kind of makes. Yeah, I would have to try it, like to fit it. Do I have a door somewhere? I must have a door. I got so much stuff. I should have a door. Hmm. That's not a bad idea. Windows all around the door.
Yeah, you can do that too. Then they don't call them windows, they call them lights.
They call them what?
Lights. Lights. Some you see on front doors and all, where you got this narrow strip of window panes going down each side of the front door, so you can kind of look out, see who's standing there. They call
Mm-hmm.
those window lights.
Okay.
At least down here in my area, they do.
I guess that should pretty much solve the problem then.
Yeah, there you go. Aren't you glad you popped in?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Andy. Side lights. Side lights. That's what they're called. Side lights. We have the narrow little bitty windows running on each side of a door.
Are you still on the road, Andy?
Yep. Well, he's out of town working. He's going from one location to the other.
You know that if work really gets in the way of your hobby, you should quit work.
Yeah. I can tell you that's not going to happen with Andy.
No, huh?
uh, uh. Oh yeah, okay. He said he used to see him in the old Marietta area. That's Marietta, Georgia. So yeah. Well, who's? Oh, this must
No,
be.
I'm probably not going to be able to quit work.
Yeah, yep. There's Andy.
No, I'm probably not going to be able to quit work. No, I got done at that branch. Now I'm back on the road.
Going back to the other branch again.
How else does anybody afford any of this stuff? No, I should be able to go home now. I think I got as far as I'm possibly going to get. All this is going to be turned in the morning, so I got to go home and compile it all, get it all put in, get all the documentations and spreadsheet.
Yeah,
When you get trained in IT, nobody ever tells you that you're going to spend your life doing this kind of crap.
yeah.
This ain't the fun part of being an IT guy. Hey, that's awesome, Lloyd. That's that curtain system from It's Go Architect.
Yep.
That really looks good.
Thanks.
Did you already paint it, I suppose? I guess it doesn't come in that like that,
Oh
does
no. You see, I went to the store and bought some. I wanted like the rusty paint, and they didn't have any. And I really wanted to start this building, so I bought this paint. I'm telling you, this is what it looked like at first.
Wow. Okay. That's dramatic.
Yeah, it was like fire engine red. But I had in mind that I was gonna use pastel powders. Ralph is not around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're safe. You're safe.
Okay, so I knew I was going to use pastel powders to darken the red, and
Yep.
it turned out great because the brick is like a brownish rust, and with the white that I put between the bricks,
The mortar joints.
it doesn't really show. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't look that way, but um, so it really turned out great. So I had to paint all those, paint the gray, um, paint all my windows, and then I just had to assemble everything.
Yeah, the mortar joint. Just about every technique I know of for mortar joints, whether you use whatever, whether you use spackle like some people do, or plaster, or just a diluted paint. I like. Oh, I forget what that stuff is. I like so well. Gesso, whatever, gesso. Um, but I clear coat the building. But even still, it still mutes the brick color down pretty considerably.
Hmm. What I did is I diluted acrylic paint 20 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 to 1.
Did you clear coat? So what I do with the gesso is I clear coat the structure first so that it sticks less. And then once I put the gesso in, I clean it off the surface with makeup sponges, damp makeup sponges. It gets a lot of it off. Now, if I don't clear coat the brick, then still way too much of it sticks to the surface. But the gesso does a pretty good job of kind of sticking just in the mortar gaps.
Well, the brick sheet came white. It came this color,
Yeah.
and then I painted. Came this color. Then I clear coated with what do you call it?
Like dull coat or something.
Dull coat, yeah.
Yeah.
And then once it was dull coated, then I put in the white, and it just ran like where the mortar is.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the paint just ran, so I didn't have to do much cleanup.
Right. And you can, if with a dilute paint like that, you can just touch the brush to mortar lines and it'll run with capillary action. It'll
Yeah.
it'll roll through the mortar joints. I've also seen it done. I have not done this yet, but I've seen it done. Well, I experimented with it, but I haven't done it in production because I didn't get as good a result. But I've seen it done like a brick negative, where you paint everything your mortar color, and then you come in with makeup sponges and sponge the brick with a very, very light touch so that it leaves your mortar lines intact. You need a fairly neat mortar line for that, but the
Well, I know that
cut
in the instruction sheet
brick,
they're talking about
laser cut wood
white
brick
powder.
would have that deep border line. Yeah.
Yeah, in the instruction sheet they're talking about using white powder.
Yeah. I've seen it done with plaster, and I think you get pretty good results with the plaster if you're working at like O scale or G scale or something. But at our scales, the border lines are just too fine to try to fill them with some kind of plaster. Now, there are a lot of people who use spackle, vinyl spackle compound. They dilute it down and basically smush it into the gaps and then
Nick
wipe it off.
Massey, yeah, Nick Massey said all he did, just to kind of give it the look of a mortar line, was he used plaster of plaster of
Yeah.
Paris. Just left it dry, put it in a spoon or on a brush and flicked it out onto the brick. And then he was using a baby wipe because it's real soft and it's wet, and just lightly rubbed it across the brick, and it picked up all the powder off the brick, or most of it anyway. So, alrighty. Well, I'll tell you what, we done hit an hour and a half. We've already had a few people go to bed.
Yeah. Baby wipe's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that.
But, Lord, appreciate you coming in here and letting us have a look at this building.
Well, thank you. I should be dropping by. Well, it's probably not going to be finished by our next show, but it'll be pretty much advanced.
Well, you can come by Thursday night and show us how much more you got done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That show's at 10 o'clock, Lord, not 9.
Okay.
All right, let everybody know. Let's see here. Where'd the cursor go? All right, here it is. Do a double tap there. Get everybody back to about a normal size. All right, hope everybody enjoyed tonight's show. Appreciate everybody in the chat coming by. And appreciate you, Lloyd, coming in. Andy, popping in just when you could there. That's good. Tomorrow night's going to be Joe's Train Room. That's at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And then on Thursday, we got the Johnny Small Train Talk Show. So, and don't forget, on the 23rd, who's Big Bill talking to? And the Snake a Peak is Sparky 107 107. It's going to be on the show. So, y'all need to tune in on that one. That'll be interesting. Maybe we can get caught up on this train shed. Alrighty. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow night at Joe's Train Room, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Have a good one.
Night.